Thank you, Angela. Just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about networking at Pro and why it's so important. You just had a couple-minute commercial from a few of our affiliated members, and you wonder why would we put people in front of you to give you a commercial right away in this experience. I just want to let you know that it's a great way for you to build your strength in talking to people. Think about it. Almost every business manual that revolves around residential real estate, the best practice is 3 to 5 meaningful conversations per week are necessary to build a $100,000 a year business. So when you think about it, 3 to 5 meaningful conversations are not conversations that you throw a business card at me as you're driving away at the gas station. That's not a meaningful conversation. So a meaningful conversation would mean that you actually connected with me for a moment, and potentially you've passed me your business card, but you've made that connection with me to where I would take that next action step in engaging with you as a practitioner. So think about it, when you go to one of our ProConnect socials, it's a great time in front of people who are going to be friendly to you and want to talk to you. It's a great way to practice this skill. And so if you're afraid to talk in front of people or afraid to be in front of the camera, like sometimes I am, you can just practice in front of these affiliated members and the members that come to our socials. It is a great way to build that skill. So next time you go, take a few minutes and connect in a good, safe environment for you to build that skill. So staff gives me a laundry list of some things that we're going to work on during these new member experiences. The next one is clear cooperation. So this is part of MLS rules, and it's one that throws everybody, and especially new people. The clear cooperation rules are rules that were initiated by Realtor members, and it was done in a way that makes you look good in front of a consumer, but also cleans up some behavior. So this rule came about because of bad behaviors in consumers' eyes. So consumer sees a Realtor member trying to do both sides of the deal, and they don't understand what's going on. To the consumer, that is a negative connotation. So clear cooperation is that you have agreed that to put that listing in the MLS within so many days of you publicly marketing that listing. So that also means if you take that beautiful selfie with the house behind you and you post it on Facebook and you say coming soon, that is a direct violation of clear cooperation. Even though you haven't posted the address, you have publicly marketed that property now, and someone can turn you in for that violation. Those violations start at $2,500. The difference is if you need to do this for some particular reason, you can do an office exclusive. You can then call any of the consumers that you have, your customers in your database, and make them aware of this property within your office environment. That does not break the clear cooperation rules. So hopefully that's been helpful for you today in understanding this new MLS rule that's in our space at this time. So the next item equally is confusing, 120-year-old Sherman antitrust rules. These all revolve around commission and your firms, your companies. So everybody in the room, I'm going to take it for granted that everybody in the room today is from a separate company. So that would mean that none of you can speak about commissions today in this room together, or that would be a per se violation of the Sherman antitrust rules. Now, not that anybody's going to go out and hire an attorney and go to that great expense, and then you would have to go to great expense to defend yourself, but it is per se a violation of those rules. So the reason I'm telling you this is not to go on Facebook or not to be in a forum where you're talking with someone that's not from your firm about anything that you would put in that commission field. That could mean X% less something. That could mean any variation in that MLS fee box on the multiple listing service. So it's all about two competitors not trying to set price points or change policies to be better for the business side of it and be against consumers. So make sure you understand it, be clear about it, and if you have questions, you can call the legal hotline, which is available to you 7 days a week, or you can call the association. We'd be happy to help you with those rules. All right, so a little something about a three-legged stool today, and the reason I use the three-legged stool analogy is so that you remember that that stool, you can't sit on it if one of the legs is broken. There's no way for that stool to operate and be safe with. So the reason I'm using that is that you won't remember my name, you won't remember my hair, but hopefully you remember the three-legged stool concept. And why this is so important, the three-legged stool concept comes from the top 3 things that consumers have told the National Association of Realtors through consumer surveying over the past 10 years. All 3 of these items come up, 1, 2, and 3, every single year for the past 10 years. And they are as follows: strong negotiation skills. So they expect you to do this hard work for them. This is the hardest part of the transaction. And it's something that if you're new, unless you've come from an industry or another business where you have built up your negotiating skills, this is something that you're really going to have to hone in on so that you can work through the process dealing with 2 sides of a transaction. Whether you're working directly with that consumer or with another realtor member, you're going to have to evoke these negotiating skills and be polished about it. So if you don't have good skills, the thing I would recommend is that you take our Graduate Realtor Institute. There's a great over a half-day segment on negotiations, and it would be a great way for you to pick up these skills and then to practice with your spouse, practice with someone in your office, practice with an affiliate at one of our ProConnect socials if you need to negotiate and hone that skill really good. Remember, it's number 1 issue our consumers want from you. Number 2 issue they want from you is they want you to be able to establish the market price for your property. And we have lots of tools in the multiple listing service that can help you. We have RPR, we have Cloud CMA, and just the general MLS if you're really good at honing down on that price. But I would encourage you to take a look at those systems, understand them well, how the data is pulled, what it means to you, because the consumer is really looking for you to hone down on that price point, whether they're buying or selling, for you to be that trusted advisor to them. And then the third leg in the stool can't stay stable without this third leg, is the strong knowledge of the transaction. So the consumer wants A to Z. They want you to know everything. Most of you in the room today raised your hands that you were new to the business, so you're not going to have that skill set yet. So I would encourage you, again, GRI, there is 8 hours on just our residential contract and all the addendums around it. So it's a great way to build your skill. Work with people in your office, work with your broker, work with another realtor member that has those skills and has them down pat. Find yourself a mentor that can help you in this overall knowledge of the transaction. It's a very difficult and consuming transaction, largest transaction that a consumer will go through in their lifetime. So you don't want to fake this one. You want to make sure you understand A to Z how it works. And I would encourage you, if you run across something where you're stumped in a transaction, go to the legal hotline, go to your broker, but just tell that consumer that you want to go back and check your best practices and that you'll get back to them. They will appreciate you much more for studying the topic that you're about to tell them about instead of just winging it, or in other parts of business we say fake it until you make it. This is an area that you don't want to fake it until you make it. So thank you for your time today, and good luck.